and all that other fun stuff.
All right, so this brings us to the next point about is Elon Musk Dr. Evil, which would be, are you talking about this one or shall I?
Oh, go ahead, have at it.
All right, so look, this is actually, now you have to look at some other things that we're going to talk about here, because in reality, SpaceX is actually now planning in all things that no one would really saw coming, because I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
And this one is coming from ARS Technica, and this is from just recently, the 5th. And it says that SpaceX is now planning to use Starlink as its new phone service for emergency backup and low-income access. Which would mean that if you take a look at currently what SpaceX has, they're filing outlines for a plan to offer a phone service for emergency backup for voice calls and cheaper plans for people in low incomes through the government's Lifeline program. Okay, and then details that are coming out through the FCC filing says that its designation for Eligible Telecommunications Carrier, or ETC.
Yep.
So basically what they're looking at is probably making a voice over IP system to embed in the back of their Starlink satellite system that they're currently designing, and they're saying that it's in beta for the Starlink itself. And right now their Starlink program is $499 upfront. Yeah,
it's pretty expensive.
Which pretty expensive, but it gives you the equipment.
Yep.
Okay. And $99 per month
yeah.
afterwards. The system is a self tracking satellite dish. It comes with all the components, and they're actually powered over Ethernet. So they're PoE, which is actually really cool. So there's no excessive cables. They get you 360 feet of cable run from your satellite dish itself to your plumbing for the house and the Ethernet and whatnot. And right now they're saying that their response time is currently in the 30 milliseconds. Okay, which most internet service providers, which are currently doing satellite subscriptions, are in the 300 to 700 range. And they're saying that with the next round of satellites, after it gets out of beta, that they're going to have that to 14 to 15 milliseconds, which is going to put it on par, if not better, with most mainline digital service carriers. So now the thing is that the voice over IP plans, though, that's massive. That's a total game changer for SpaceX. Even outside the realm of what I thought this man had the capability of doing. So I think the next thing that would probably come up is what's going on with their competition, because this is literally, he is making Blue Origin turn around. He's going in and eating their lunch. They're in the same competitive markets, but they're not really nearly as advanced currently as I would say where SpaceX is. What's your thoughts on that one?
I mean, Musk continues to try to expand his influence, but I mean, he's got the infrastructure in place to do different things, right? I mean,
sure.
Through his brother and things, they have the solar city all set up, so they've been doing some solar roof stuff. But obviously, SpaceX has been obviously working with the battery, so there's solar battery, power storage. I mean, there's plenty of places they can diversify their assets, and it's
better than others.
It doesn't really surprise me that this is something he wanted to do with Starlink, right? Because on the face of it, it's like, okay, they're going to provide internet service to places that can't really get internet service, and it should be pretty quick with their constellation they're putting up in orbit. Okay, great, sounds great, but what else could they do with this? And I'm thinking, oh, bam, sat phones. You could have obviously VoIP,
sure,
anywhere, and so I admit I kind of had thought about this, but I didn't really see anything until I saw this article about it. So it's not too surprising to me, but I'm still interested to see what they can get the price down to once it's really actually deployed and out of beta.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me, though, they would say that this would be emergency service backup system, which I'm sure that means that he would probably sell this to other carriers as a fallback system if their networks went down, number one.
They also have it. He's also talking about the emergency backup, 24-hour battery backup in case you actually lose power. So you can still make calls over the system.
Over the system, no matter what.
Well, 24 hours.
I'll tell you what.
Well, yeah.
If I qualified for the service in the beta, I would switch to it. If I could take any phone that I wanted and move over to that system, I would do it, because if the program was cheap enough, and I stress that with cheap enough.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that you would have a world-class phone with world-class service all over the globe without having to change carriers, no matter where you go, in the middle of the ocean, because this is like sat phone.
Yeah, if you got service.
Yeah, I mean, you would have service
which
because
they're planning on having everywhere. So
yeah, because Starlink in its design is going to be low atmosphere. Yet they're much lower the way that these satellites carry in their orbit. Okay, which keeps their response time much lower. But the difference is his coverage is immense.
I know exactly what you said about the altitude of orbit. I know that's giving
Yes.
some Blue Origin some issues. But
Why,
that's a whole nother conversation.
No, you opened the can of worms.
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
No. So it was Musk was if I can find something about it. But basically, it was Blue Origin. So it was Jeff Bezos and Musk.
Yes.
Where Musk was trying to get, I think he was petitioning the FCC to block the orbit altitude that the Blue Origin was going to go up to. Because Musk was saying, well, they wanted to move some of the satellite constellation down a bit, like lower orbit, and obviously that was.
Hey, you know what? It's funny because when you think about the constellation system itself, it and this is one other place where we were discussing this over lunch today, and I said to myself, look, you got to be prepared because if he's going to go for voice over IP services and he's got this mesh network of satellites up in the air, what's not to say that he's not going to make a move on global GPS? Because he has inherently all the tools, and those satellites themselves have to have some sort of GPS component on them to keep themselves in the same orientation where they are. Because and here's the other big difference. Whereas most of these other satellites are stationary in space, these satellites move across this field where they are at, I think it's 348 nautical miles up in the atmosphere. So really, now you have to look at yourself and think to is this man just becoming Dr. Evil? Because look at the amount of control that he's going to have over certain subscriber-based services in the not-too-distant future. And look what a disruptor he has been in the automotive industry. Look what a disruptor he's been in the space industry. It's not like somebody shows up every day and just goes, I'm going to build an electric car, and it becomes one of the most popular electric cars on the planet. And it's not every day that someone says, I'm going to make reusable rockets, and they're going to be the best in class, and we're going to have almost zero loss on parts. And he's even capturing nose cones now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to bring down obviously the trash that goes out in the water, but also cost, obviously.
So is he Dr. Evil?
Nah.
Really?
Nah. I mean, I was trying to think of something to do with like $1 million. I couldn't place anything quick enough.
Sure, but I mean, he's a mastermind, though. He's definitely a mastermind.
He's a smart person.
He's a very and what do you guys think in chat? You have me calling it chat now. So I'm interested to hear what you guys would think in the discussion because Musk is becoming so influential. He's got a ton of money behind him at this point. The way that he's growing his companies, no one can seem to find a way to do it better. And if you're talking about the sophistication that it takes to do what he's doing with SpaceX and integrating Starlink and so on and so forth, I think he's almost an unstoppable force. Who's going to stop him?
I don't know. I mean, Bezos apparently, we don't know exactly what Jeff Bezos' plans are, but he did leave his position, and he's not totally leaving Amazon. Of course, he's still on the board, but he's literally in a statement. One of the things he pointed out was he wants to do more time with Blue Origin.
With Blue Origin, right?
That's certainly on his mind, which probably should be. So I don't know.
You think he's jealous,
Jeff?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Jeff should be jealous about much.
Well, I mean, do you think? But look, I mean, here's a guy that's...
I know what you mean, though. You've got literally two of the richest people in the world
building
kind
rockets.
of doing their own thing because they're in their own class of doing whatever the hell they want. But
sure.
So, I don't know. I don't know. I only have some frame of reference to anyone in that class.
Here's what I really admire about Elon Musk. If Elon Musk produces something and he tells you it's probably going to do these things, sure, he makes you wait a little while for it, but the actuality is later on the product that's usually delivered is actually what he tells you it's going to do, and I give him a lot of props for that.
Yeah. He takes a lot of flack for sometimes making promises too quickly. Excuse me. Making two promises too quickly, or like there's been multiple things about how hard he pushes the employees in certain like projects to make deadlines. And I get that. I guess I don't get it because I'm not part of that. But as you to kind of hint at just like let's say just results on the back end, what you mentioned, Mike, was if he says, okay, we're gonna get this car out and it's gonna do these things and it's gonna be like this and whatever. There's bumps along the road, of course, as he said many times. Production hell is a thing. He literally built that company, and I think what was it? He said multiple times there was a few weeks I don't remember when it was, but a few weeks where he said, we were less than 30 days from bankruptcy of
Sure.
Tesla. So, yeah, he's quite ambitious, but
it's his
he's
delivery
made it work,
though.
right? So
he's not short on delivery,
and he's not trying to. It doesn't appear that when I've hired multiple people as well, like see him speak in public or on these like when he's announcing a new product, and like he's just not a very good public speaker. No, but he's enthusiastic about his product and he believes in it and he wants you to be happy about it, excited too, and that comes out.
I think that definitely comes out
pretty poorly, or like when they threw that metal, that steel ball at the wall, or not the wall, but the glass of the Cybertruck, and it just
yeah
cracked and did it again. It was like, okay, well, that was what's happened.
So one of the comments was just passed in chat is that Tesla was one of the first manufacturers that would make a car that wasn't ugly, an electric car, by that matter. But now here's the funny part. You probably remember the night that we were both watching the Cybertruck introduction, and I was texting Corey, and I'm going, is this for real? Is this really how the truck looked?
We did say that. I was like, I'd seen some speculation renders from the internet, and I'm like, okay, those weren't looking too bad. There's like an F-150 Raptor kind of thing. It was electric. I was like, that looks pretty cool.
Right.
And then, no joke, this like thing comes out on stage. And I'm like,
what? Okay.
I'm like, hold up, that doesn't look obviously like anything I thought it would look like. It doesn't look really bad. But I'm like, is this like total like a joke?
And then the ball bearing thrown at the window. We were both like, there's a real truck coming from behind like somewhere. Like another. I'm texting Corey. I'm like, there's another truck coming, right? Like they're gonna dump something out in the middle from the ceiling. It's gonna fall out.
The semi truck's gonna roll out with like a different truck on it.
Sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. But
never happened.
Yeah, but EB, I mean, why would they have billions of dollars? Why would they be jealous? Yeah.
Sure. But now here's the thing. I now find the Cybertruck to be attractive.
Because why though?
Because it grew on me.
Because it's different.
No, because it grew on me.
Like what?
Because when I looked at the interior and I looked at what Elon Musk is trying to communicate, and I said to myself, look, if you take the dreams of a DeLorean, of what it was, a stainless steel bodied car, and the design aspects of actually making the body itself part of the stressed member, and then you think of all the things that it does, and then I went, man, that's really futuristic. And then I looked at it again and I went, and it actually doesn't look bad.
Cybertruck?
Yeah, the Cybertruck.
Yeah, I think I'm fascinated with it. I like the bare metal look.
Sure.
Look, of course, but I also am, I guess, interested to see really how the exoskeleton rigidity
holds up
to the production model.
I want to see this thing do. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Just finishing the thought. Yeah. Exactly. It was just to see how rigid it's going to be, because that's a robust and proven like design method to make things, exoskeleton.
Sure.
But making that into the car and actually getting it to the production line and actually people buying it, I mean, different, but we'll see.
I want to see three things from the Cybertruck. I want to see it go off and be matched up against a Raptor and do some air maneuvers like you've never seen before. Land it and not be bent in half. Number one. Number two, I want to see it out drag race a modern day Corvette, because it possibly
probably could.
It probably could.
It is, obviously.
Okay, and number three, I want to see what the plaid mode looks like. That's for that car.
Are they announcing some other mode that's above plaid or something crazy?
Something is going to be on plaid.
I mean, we could even talk about the Roadster, because he's claiming again the Roadster will be sub like 1.8 seconds 0-60,
and still have rockets,
and then have some cold air rockets of some kind. Whatever that's going to end up looking like.
All it has to do is have a compressor on board. But look, you know who would drive? You know who would drive a Cybertruck?
Well, you obviously.
Dr. Evil.
Oh,
you didn't see that coming, did you? Yeah. Look, I just make the comparison because the man is he's putting it together in all different areas at this point. And what are you laughing at? It's true.
No, yeah.
Could you imagine if he was a supervillain? We'd be so screwed.
We might be screwed.
We would be totally screwed.
If he is a supervillain.
If he was. I said, just saying if, but I digress. All right. With that said, you want me to kick into the next one, then you can carry the last part?
Well, just one thing, yeah. I just wanted to say, Tyler said something in chat a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying how many entries they've... So this is back to the Inspire...
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
You saw it? Yeah.
No, but you got to bring it up.
They've currently raised $7.8 million, and each dollar is worth 10 entries. So obviously that just goes up by 10. 78 million and change entries.
Yeah.
With a target of 100 million.
So
race.
So you're saying I should probably start.
Well, one thing I didn't really mention, we didn't go into the details, but when I looked at it a few days ago, which has probably changed now, the maximum you could enter, well, you can enter custom amounts, but the maximum amount of tickets you could buy at once seemed to be like 10,000.
Okay.
Even if you, so when you donate $1,000 or you donate 50,000 or 100,000, all those donations are all equal to the same 10,000.
Oh, okay.
10,000 ticket amount. That's at least what I saw.
So if I go and throw out $100, I'm good though.
What's that?
If I go throw in $100, I'm still good. I'm still gonna get my 10 tickets.
Oh, you're still not gonna. They're still not gonna run out of packages. They're still gonna take your money, of course.
Sure,
And let
of course.
Anybody. But I was just
pointing
out earlier that that the minimum was $10, and that should really open up for almost everybody. Of course, can you spare $10? Boom, you might go to space. I mean,
I go to space. Hey, man.
One winner, and so. It is pretty cool. But Tyler, I can tell you're excited, Tyler. We are too. So
we are as well.
That'd be great.
Cool. Hey, remember, and if you're really excited and you're watching at home, like, subscribe, follow. By all means, we need the support, and hopefully you guys are staying tuned for our next installment of the upcoming part 2 of 3 for the Rolex 24 video. So hopefully that's something that we're gonna get out to you by this Friday.
And a real quick plug there too. We did release a 4K version of our previous.
Oh yeah, the
Rolex
4K
video.
is out.
It took a few days to crunch on YouTube's end, but it's out, and I made it public this morning. So
yes,
there's a 4K version. So let us know what you think.
Yeah, the 4K is there because it was actually shot in 4K.
Yep.
Okay, so the reason why I